Hello everyone, my name is Sarafi and I'm happy to meet you all. And today we are going to be talking about the White Woods cards that were just announced because I was trying to make some TCG content for my channel. I planned on making the Gimmick Puppet video first, but these cards came out and sometimes as a content creator you have a lot of backlog and then something comes out and you're just like, I have to drop everything and talk about this right now. And that was this for me. These cards are so cool. The archetype itself fits a lot with what I like to do in Duel Links and in Yu-Gi-Oh! In general. So I'm hoping you guys enjoy the content as much as I do. Let's talk about these new cards. So this is the White Woods archetype. Understand that, of course, this is a translation, so the cards, the effect of the card is probably going to be 100%, but the names of the cards might change. Like, for example, the Voiceless Voice archetype, we thought it was called, it got translated as Silent Force while it was still Japanese, and then they localized it to Voiceless Voice. So Konami in America doesn't make exact English translations of any of their cards, so I don't know what the name's going to be, but the effect should be correct. Asteria of the White Woods. Level 2 light spellcaster monster. If you think the art looks familiar, it is because it is Diabellstar the Black Witch as a young girl, for some reason. 0 attack, 0 defense. You can send one spell or trap from your hand or field to the graveyard. Special summon one light spellcaster tuner monster from your deck. Yes! A non-tuner that special summons a tuner from your deck. And that's really, really good. Let's go ahead and get some free synchro plays in. I haven't been this excited to play a synchro deck since Sword Soul came out. And again, Sword Soul was another deck where it was just like, it's a monster that comes with its own tuner. That's what synchro really needs to be viable. So the fact that tuner monsters and non-tuner monsters are kind of separated has always made other decks really bad. This deck, not so much. If a spell or trap is sent to your graveyard to activate a monster effect while this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon this card. You can only use each effect once per turn. So you can summon Asteria, discard a spell card, special summon a tuner monster, synchro, then activate another monster's effect to discard another spell and trap card, and then Asteria comes back and you can use her as material again. That's really, really strong. Let's go ahead and see what else we can do. Rosette of the White Woods. Level 2 light spellcaster monster, 0 attack and 0 defense. You can send one spell or trap from your hand or field to the graveyard, special summon this card from your hand, then add one White Woods monster from your deck to your hand except Rosette of the White Woods. So you can discard a spell, special summon this card, and then you can special summon, you can add your Asteria and then get a tuner with another spell card. So that's going to get you up for a Synchro 8 pretty easily. If a light spellcaster tuner is summoned to your field during your opponent's turn while this card is in your graveyard, you can add this card to your hand. You can only use each effect once per turn. Okay, so that's interesting. Rosette has her own little recursion effect. It's not that powerful, but, you know, Synchro does want to be able to make multiple plays over multiple turns. That means they need monsters from their graveyard. So don't discount this. It's not that terrible of an effect, and I like the option. Then we have Sylvain of the White Woods. Here we go. Now's our tuner monster. Level 4. That's fantastic. Level 4 is the prime level for tuners. This means that since you have a level 4 tuner and a level 2 non-tuner, as opposed to a level 2 tuner and a level 4 non-tuner, you have access to many more options with this deck. Your level 4 tuner could be paired with a level 3 to go into 7, maybe a level 4 to go into an 8. You know, it's a lot easier for you to get access to the higher level synchro monsters because the deck doesn't lock itself, as opposed to if you had a small tuner, you would need more monsters to get access to cards like Trishula, which, while that's valuable, it's not as good as being able to just fire off a level 8 like Diabolantis or something. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add one White Woods spell or trap from your deck to your hand. Good, we need as many spells and traps as possible to discard. If this card is in your graveyard, as a quick effect, you can target one White Woods Synchro monster you control or that is in your graveyard. Return that monster to the extra deck, and if you do, special summon this card but negate its effects. You can only use each effect once per turn. Okay, so for example, if your opponent tries to remove your Synchro monster, okay, you can bounce the Synchro monster in response, make it not a viable target. Maybe you deny the secondary effect of the removal effect, and then you get to get your Sylvain back. She doesn't draw you a card, but it's better than having no monsters at all. And then if you special summon a tuner monster during your opponent's turn, you get to revive your, you get to add your Rosette back to your hand. So the fact that the tuner monster can special summon itself during your opponent's turn means that Rosette's secondary effect is much better than it just looks. This looks great so far. Also, you can see that she has a wolf with her. That's going to be important. So, moving on. Lastly, for the main deck monsters, we have Arcetia of the White Woods. This is a level 4 light spellcaster monster. It's a tuner. If you control a White Woods monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. Fantastic. You can send one spell or trap from your hand or field to the graveyard to draw one card. If this card is in your graveyard, as a quick effect, you can target one White Woods Synchro Monster you control or in your graveyard, return it to the extra deck, and if you do, special summon this card, but negate its effects. Also a quick effect. Fantastic. So it has the same effect. It allows you to recur your Synchro Monsters if you need to, and it allows you to bounce them to dodge removal or other things like that. Both of those effects are very useful, and recurring the tuners is also good for the deck. Now, let's talk about the levels. We got a 4, a 4, a 2, and a 2. So if you get 2 of the non-tuners, then you can make a Synchro 8. That's useful. If you get 2 of the tuners, you can go 4 plus 2 equals 6, and then 4 plus 6 equals 10. So you can make your Synchro 6 and then go into Barone. Is that good? Yes, that's very, very strong. So the levels line up really well for this deck. I'm really interested to see what the line is intended to be, because right now it looks pretty solid, especially going first. So I'm excited. Alright, enough about the main deck monsters. Let's look at these Synchro monsters that we're going to be making. Silvera, Witch Wolf of the White Woods. Level 6 Light Spellcaster Synchro Tuner Monster. So this one is a tuner monster, which means that you can't make Barone with it, but we'll get other level 6s. 1900 attack, 2400 defense. Requires 1 tuner plus 1 or more non-tuners, so it is generic. That's great, because it has a really good effect. If this card is special summoned, not synchro summoned, you can change all face-up monsters your opponent controls to face-down defense position. Illusion and Spellcaster Synchro monsters you control gain 500 attack points. Also, if they attack a defense position monster, inflict double piercing damage to your opponent. That's hilarious. So it has 2500 attack normally, and it allows you to Book of Moon everything when it's summoned. Guess what you can do with this? You can play Duality. Duality. Tribute 1 light or dark monster. Special summon 1 light or dark monster from your hand or extra deck with the same original type and level, but a different original attribute. During your main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard, target a light and dark monster in your graveyard, shuffle both into the deck, and then draw 1 card. So, if you tribute a light spellcaster monster that is... if you tribute a dark spellcaster monster that's level 6, you get special summon Silvera from your extra deck without synchro summoning it, and book your opponent's entire field. Now, what level 6 dark spellcasters do we have? How about a Princess Illusion Magician? Dark Magician? This could be a Dark Magician support card. Dark Magician can play Duality just like everyone else. That would be a lot of fun. So, yeah, the ability to book everything is strong. That's a really good effect. I think this card will be very, very strong. And it's a tuner monster, so you can use it to make a Synchro 8 with one of the level 2s. So, yeah, I like this. It doesn't have the ability to quick Synchro, sadly, but that's not entirely needed. The other monster is Rosalia, Wicked of the White Woods. So this is Sylve ranked up, and the other one is Rosalia ranked up. Rosalia, Wicked of the White Woods, level 6, light spellcaster, synchro tuner, 2000 attack, 1500 defense, 1 tuner plus 1 non-tuner, so it's also generic. If this card is special summon, you can send 1 spell or trap from your hand or field to the graveyard to add 1 White Woods card or 1 light spellcaster monster from your deck to your hand. So this allows you to draw any light spellcaster monster or a White Woods card, monster, or spell or trap. You can only use this effect once per turn. Illusion and spellcaster synchro monsters you control gain 500 attack points. Also, they cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. So if you have both monsters out, then your Silvera has 2900 attack points, your Rosalia has 3000 attack points, neither of them can be destroyed by card effects, and they both inflict double piercing damage. Is that good? Kind of. I wish that one of them wasn't a tuner, because then you could make a 12. I feel like that's what the deck is intending for you to do, but clearly not, so I'm not sure why they're both tuners, but we'll have to see what else we're supposed to do with this. It looks good so far. Now we have Diabel, Fiendess of the White Woods. So, of course, Diabel Star was in the archetype, so here she is as a light monster for some reason. Level 8 Light Illusion Synchro Monster, 2500 attack, 2000 defense. Once again, completely generic for some reason. If this card is Synchro Summoned using a Tuner Synchro Monster as material, you can target one spell or trap in your graveyard and add it to your hand. So you combine the level 6 Tuner with the level 2 non-tuner to make this card. When your opponent activates a card or effect, as a quick effect, you can send one spell or trap from your hand or field to the graveyard. Special summon a level 7 or lower Tuner Synchro Monster from your extra deck, graveyard, or banishment. You can only use each effect once per turn. Okay, so that's really, really strong. You can special summon your Rosalia or your Silvera from the extra deck, the graveyard, or the banished zone, and then trigger their effects to either draw a card or book everything. You can also special summon any other level 7 or lower Tuner Synchro Monster. So, for example, you could special summon Shooting Riser Dragon for some reason. Special summon Shooting Riser Dragon, but Shooting Riser Dragon's effect only triggers when it's Synchro Summoned, so you wouldn't necessarily be able to then just go into a 12, although that would be really funny. There are probably other Synchro Tuner Monsters that you could summon. You could summon Mighty Striker. Tech Genus Mighty Striker. Yes, I have to put the dots in. Tech Genus Mighty Striker, which is a Tuner Synchro Monster that has a quick effect Synchro, so you could use this effect and then special summon him and then immediately Barone. Because again, nothing's locking you here. So yeah, getting a level 2 Tuner Synchro Monster that can quick Synchro during your opponent's turn and then Baroning would be very, very funny. So maybe that's your goal. Alright, for the spells and traps, we're going to be discarding these cards, so let's take a look at what our options are. We have Legend of the White Woods, normal spell card. If you control an illusion or spellcaster monster, add one White Woods monster from your deck to your hand. If this card is sent to the graveyard to activate a monster effect, you can set this card. You can only use each effect once per turn. Cool, so you discard this card to pay the cost of one of your White Woods monsters, then you set it, and you use its effect to draw a card. Awesome. So yeah, that's some high value card. This is really, really good. Beware the White Woods. If you control a level 6 or higher illusion or spellcaster monster, target one card your opponent controls and destroy it. If this card is sent to the graveyard to activate a monster effect, you can set this card. You can only use each effect once per turn. That effect's not as good, but it's still useful to have. Popping cards is okay. It does target, which makes it less good, but it's free because you paid the cost to discard it and then you got it back for free. So it's a card and a half, essentially, and the fact that it's just got a little effect on top of being able to be discarded and then brought back is good enough. So I like this card. Then we have Whispers of the Sinful Spoils, because of course we have a Dia Bellstar card, so we have to have more Sinful Spoils support. Lovely. Quick play spell, target one spellcaster or illusion monster you control, return that monster to the hand or the extra deck, then special summon one illusion or spellcaster monster from your graveyard or banishment. If this card is sent to the graveyard to activate a monster effect, you can set this card. You can only use each effect once per turn. It is important to note that Whispers of the Sinful Spoils is not a White Woods card, so you can't search it. But it does follow the White Woods line of you can set it if you discard it. But if you set it, you can't activate it because it is a quick play spell. So you set it and then you have to wait till the next turn. I mean, the effect is still really, really strong. Being able to special summon your book, the whole board card during your opponent's turn, very good. We want as many ways to do that as possible because the effect is insane. The deck is entirely based around this card. And it's not. This isn't once per turn, by the way. If this card is special summon, you can change all face-up monsters you control face-down defense position, not once per turn. So summon this card as many times as possible, book your opponent as many times as possible. Yeah, like do it early just to bait them. Just bait them. Be like, oh, I'm going to book your entire board. And you're like, that was early. I baited them successfully. Okay, now I can go in. And then you do it again. They're just like, that's not once per turn? How is that not once per turn? And you win the game. There you go. Punish your opponents for assuming that cards are balanced when they're not. They need to learn to read. Alright. For the trap card, we have Woes of the White Woods. Special summon one White Woods monster from your hand or deck. Then immediately after this effect resolves, you can synchro summon one White Woods monster. If this card is sent to the graveyard to activate a monster effect, you can set this card. You can only use each effect once per turn. Okay, so it's a free card that also lets you special summon a monster from your deck and then synchro into Silvera to book your opponent's entire field. Okay. So, do we want to book our opponent's entire field 3 times in one turn? Yes, absolutely. Silvera is the rare card that I feel like you have to run 3 of in the extra deck. Like usually extra deck cards, not cards that you really want to run multiple copies of because they're so easily accessible. You don't need to access them multiple times because you are guaranteed to have them. Like it's not like one of your stars in your main deck. The reason you run 3 copies of that is to guarantee that you draw it. You don't need to do that in the extra deck. But with this card, it's literally beneficial to you to have as many copies as possible because you can keep making it and keep getting benefit off of it no matter how many times you've made it in the same turn. So Silvera, our queen, best card ever. I am so hyped to play this deck, and the artwork looks great. The theme is great. Oh man, give me these cards in Master Duel. I will become a Master Duel channel just for this deck. I will simp so hard for Diabell Star, you have no idea. I love this deck. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. My name is Sarafi, and I was thrilled to have all of you with me.